RTO here. Welcome to another live album ranking show. And today we are going to be looking at some more Marillion. Part of the week of celebrations of RTO being one tomorrow. More about that at the end of this show. Going with one of my favourite bands today, Marillion. We have already done some Marillion Live, but they were the general releases. Today we're going to be looking at the Racket Record releases that you get through the Marillion.com. I haven't got them all because there's too many to mention. I've got 18. So we're going to have a look at these 18. Excuse me. Okay, then coming in at number 18 we have an album from 2011 and it's live at Cadogan Hall, I think that's how you pronounce it. Recorded on the 7th of December 2009. All these releases are from the current lineup of Marillion of Steve Hogarth, Steve Rothery, Peter Travavas, Ian Mosley and Mark Kelly. So on this one we have got Go, Interior Lulu, Out of This World, Wrapped Up in Time, The Space, Hard as Love, Quartz, If My Heart Was a Ball, it'd Roll Uphill, It's Not Your Fault, Memory of Water, this is the 21st Century, No One Can, Beautiful, This Train Is My Life, and it's probably the best version of that song I've got, You're Gone, 80 Dies, Carpaccio, The Answer Machine, The Wonderful Estonia, Easter and 3 Minute Boy. Very good album, but it's not the best version of that album because the best version is the Blu-ray. It's stunning on here. It's on surround sound. You get little bits of extras as well. You get Less Is More studio album, alternative version of Go, See It Like a Baby, an early sound, and then you get some stuff off Racket Television. But the sound quality on that blows the CD away. It feels like they're playing in your front room. Recommend that. Very good DVD or Blu-ray as I've got. So for that reason I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.5. Okay, then coming in at number 17. This is one of them albums they record on the night and you go and buy it. Obviously you can get it on the website. This is Happiness Is on the Road Live. This is the performance at the London Forum on the 19th of November 2008. We open up with Dreamy Street, This Train Is My Life, Nothing Fills the Hole, Woke Up, The Other Half, Essence. And we get some other stuff, The Fantastic Place, The Man from the Planet Marzipan, one of my favourite tracks off the album. There's not many and that's one of them. Out of This World, Mad, The Great Escape, A Friend of Sunlight, Thunderfly. Now they had to restart that because one of them, I can't remember which one of them now, made a cock up, so they went, no, we're going to start again, and they did. Neverland, Asylum, Satellite Number 1, The Invisible Man, 3 Minute Boy, and Happiness Is the Road. Very good live album. I think the tracks off the Happiness Is the Road album are far better live, and it is funny when they do that cock up. Really, they didn't take it out, which I think is pretty cool. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 6.7. Okay, then coming at number 16, released in 2002, simply called A Piss Up at a Brewery. This was a performance of a webcast that they did at the Bass Museum in the year 2000, and it's an acoustic set. We've got Go On Here, After Me, Alone Again in the Lap of Luxury, a really good version of Cinderella's Search, and I think it's the only version of this song with Steve Hogarth singing on it. The Space, always good as a acoustic number. A Collection, beautiful. Afraid of Sunrise, Sympathy, sorry. Number 1, Dryland, Sugar Mice, Carpaccio, 80 Days, The Answering Machine, How Will You Go, Cannibal Surf Babe, and then we get a cover of Way Over from Carole King, and the Beatles' Let It Be. I would say this is probably the best acoustic live album I've got. The sound's brilliant, and I think it's to do with where they are in a very small room, but the acoustics in it are superb. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7 out of 10. Is that that's Rocky, isn't it? Go on then. No, he doesn't know what he wants today. I think it's because it's a little bit warm. He's in a bit thing, right? Where was we? Yes. Number 15 is an album came out in 1998. It's called Piston Broke, and it's a collection of songs that were done on this strange tour in 1997. Oh, I've got a wonderful dog. He's now trying to get under the computer table. Oh well, never mind. Yeah, so on here we've got Man of a Thousand Faces, Hardy's Love, Carpaccio again, Afraid of Sunlight, 80 Days, a wonderful version of Estonia as ever, Alone Again in the Lap of Luxury, Space, Easter, Brave, The Great Escape, This Strange Engine, Sugar Mice, This Town, 1,000 Nights, Bell in the Sea, Hope for the Future, and The King. Not a bad album, this isn't. It's got a nice mixture of songs on it. Some newer ones, some of the obscure ones, and it's a pleasant listen. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.2. Okay then, coming in at number 14. Go to an album released in 1999. It was recorded at the Web UK Convention Weekend at the Zodiac in Oxford. It's just called Zodiac. I'm joining the boys on stage this time is saxophonist Ben Castle. So we got Rich, the uninvited guest, Goodbye to All That, Afraid of Sunlight, and then you get the first track with Ben Castle on Deserve. Really does sound good live, much better than it does on the Marillion.com. Sugar Mice, The Answering Machine, again, bit of work from Ben Castle, and then a stunning version of Berlin with the saxophone on it as well. It's superb. Great version of Cathedral Wall, Waiting to Happen, and Garden Party. Yeah, it's a pleasant enough album. It's very short. It's nice to hear Berlin with the saxophone, so I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 7.5. Okay, number 13 then. This is the first of many of their live albums recorded at Marillion weekends in various years at the Centre Parks in Port Zealand, Holland. This one's called Friends. It was on the Saturday night of the Marillion weekend 2007. This set list covers of other people's stuff and some of the rarities that they don't often do. So it opens up with The Release. Then we go to Built-In Bastard Radar, You Don't Need Anyone, Holloway Girl, and then the first of the cover songs I do on this, Bed Shaped by Keane. Very good version of it as well. Next one is a cover again, and it's a Split Ends track, and it's 6 Months in a Leaky Boat, and they do a fantastic version of that. Then we got Number One, and then we got The King Is Half Undressed, a track by Jellyfish. Don't know much about them. Then we get Good Morning from the Beatles, pretty good as well. These Chains, Then a brilliant version of Elvis Costello's Accidents Will Happen. Bell in the Sea. Then we get a Crowded House number, She Goes On. I Will Walk on Water, which is the B-side of Sympathy. Then we get Toxic by Britney Spears. Yes, you heard it. Marillion have covered a Britney Spears song, and they do a pretty good version of it. Then we get Blackberry Way by The Move. Great track anyway. They do a really good version of Everybody Hurts by R.E.M. And they do Money, Money, Money by ABBA. Yes. And then they end the set with Hocus Pocus by Focus, where they are in Holland, so they might as well do a Dutch band. Very interesting album. I actually enjoy this one a lot. It's got some great covers, and they do some really good covers, I must admit. And I'll give this an RTO ranking of 7.9. Okay then, coming in at number 12. An album released in 1993, live in Caracas. A performance from the South American tour of 1992. Opens up with Splintering Heart, always a good opener. Really rocky version of Holidays in Eden, Script for a Jester's Tear, Easter, Hotel Hobbies, Warm Wet Circles, That Time of the Night, Kaylee, Lavender and Heart of Lothian from the Fish era. Cover My Eyes, that's really good live. Slanty Mouth, good version of that. Stonking version of The Space, good version of Waiting to Happen, much better live than in the studio. And we end up with Hooks in You, which is always good live. Great little gig, one of the early concerts. It's only his second album, really starting to get settled in the band again. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, coming in at number 11. It's another album recorded at the Forum, on where you can buy the album at the end of the show. This is Sounds Live in 2012, recorded on the 16th of September. Opens up with Gaza, absolutely brilliant track. Then we get This Town, The Rakes, Progress, and 100 Nights. You're Gone, Sounds That Can Be Made, pretty good version. Neverland, A Voice from the Past. Power, Fantastic Place, Real Tears for Sale, really good version of that. A great version of The Sky Above the Rain, The Great Escape, great version of A Few Words from the Dead, Sugar Mice, and Estonia. That's what most of these Marillion Live albums, you can't fault them. They are a great live band, and this is just another really good set of songs, especially the ones off the Sounds album that always seem to sound better live. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.3. Okay then, coming in at number 10. This is from the Sunday night of the Marillion weekend of 2007. It's called Family, and these are songs chosen by the fans. So we've got Splintering Heart, Hotel Hobbies, Warm Wet Circles, That Time of the Night, You're Gone, Fantastic Place, Afraid of Sunlight, Lord of the Backstage, Misplaced Childhood, Side 2, and Blind Curve, Side 2 of Misplaced Childhood, Between You and Me, Neverland, The Great Escape, King, The Invisible Man, and The Space. Great set of songs here, chosen by the fans, I think. It was nice to see them choose Lord of the Backstage and Blind Curve, which is one of my favourite pieces actually on that album. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.4. Okay then, coming in at number 9, after 2020, with Friends at St David's, and this is a live performance supporting the With Friends album when they did the orchestral versions of some of their songs. This was recorded at the St David's Hall in Cardiff, 16th of November 2019, and joining Marillion on stage for this is Anna Marie Osborne on the cello, Emma Hallen on the flute, Sam Morris on the French horn, Nicole Miller on the viola, And violins was Margaret Hermant and Maya Franskowski, or Frank Osk, or something like that. Sorry if I offend you, but I'm not very good at the Eastern European. Okay, opens up with a terrific version of Gaza. Then we got Beyond You, a wonderful version of Season's End. Estonia, The Hollow Man, The New Kings, great version. I love the strings on that. The strings on The Sky Above the Rain are good as well. Separated Out, awesome. Ocean Clouds, wonderful on this. Fantastic play, and This Strange Engine. I love this album. I think this is a better album than the With Friends studio album, actually. It's got more feeling to it, it's a more atmospheric. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.5. Okay, coming in at number 8. Off back to Holland now. 2015. Waves and Numb3rs released in 2016, and it's a performance of the entire Anarchaphobia album, plus a few others. And we've got Between You and Me, Quartz, Map of the World, When I Meet God, Fruit of the Wild Rose, Separated Out, This Is the 21st Century, If My Heart Were a Ball It Would Roll Uphill, This Strange Engine, Gaza and 3 Minute Boy. Probably the best version of Anarchaphobia I've got. It's got more feel to it, they play it brilliantly, and the other 3 tracks are as good, so I love listening to this. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 8.7. Okay, coming in at number 7, another album from the 2007 weekends. And this time it's This Strange Engine Live. This was released in 2011, and it says what it is. It is This Strange Engine Live. So we've got A Man of 1,000 Faces, One Fine Day, 80 Days, a beautiful version of Estonia, Memory of Water, An Accidental Man, Hope for the Future, and This Strange Engine. Definitive version again of this album. I think it's just terrific live, much better than the studio, so I shall give this an RTO ranking of 8.8. Okay then, coming in at number 6, back in Holland again, recorded at the 2015 weekend, released 2016. It's called Singles Night. It basically goes through some of their singles from the start. So it opens up with Market Square Heroes, their very first single. Then we get Garden Party, Kaylee, Lavender, Heart of Loathing, Walnut Circles, Sugar Mice, and Incommunicado ends the Fish era songs. Then we go into the Hogarth era, opens with Hooks in You, The Uninvited Guest. Probably the best version of No One Can. It's not my favourite song, but it's better live. Dry Land's great live. Sympathy, that's a great song. I love Rare Bird's version as well. The Great Escape, Alone Again in the Lap of Luxury, a really good version of Beautiful. Man on 1,000 Phases, 80 Days. These Chains, See It Like a Baby, pretty cool on this. Thank You Whoever You Are, Whatever Is Wrong With You, Power. And they finish the set with Hocus Pocus. I think this is some of the best versions of Fish era songs that Steve sings. It's a great album, so I'm going to give it an RTO ranking of 9 out of 10. Okay then, coming in at number 5, we go off to another Marillion weekend, but this time we go heading to Montreal. Recorded at the Theatre Olympia on the 24th of March 2013, and this was released in 2014, A Sunday Night Above the Rain, where they do the performance of the entire Sounds That Can't Be Made. Opens up with Gaza, Waiting to Happens on here, Lucky Man, This Strange Engine, Pour My Love, Neverland, Invisible Ink, Power, Sounds That Can't Be Made, The King of Sunset Town, The Sky Above the Rain, Montreal, which is the best version, and Garden Party. Great album. It's got the best versions of the Sounds That Can't Be Made album on here, without a doubt. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 9.1. Okay, coming in number 4, another the go to the concert and buy the gig when you come out. This is Live at the Forum in 2014, 11th of December. Opens up with Gapaccio, the uninvited guest, Power, No One Can. And we get Warm Wet Circles that time of the night. Real favourite of them to do from the Fish era still. Woke Up, Trap That, The Spark. Now you don't get many versions of this live. It's great. It's a really good track live. I think it's better than the studio. Easter, pretty good. Sounds That Can't Be Made. Season's End, stunning on here. Man of a Thousand Faces, good. King, the Christmas song. Then we have a little bit of a sing-song with Happy Christmas War Is Over. Slante Marth, the release, and Garden Party. Terrific album, great gig to go to before Christmas. I'll give this one an RTO ranking 9.2. Coming in at number 3 then, we're off to another Marillion weekend, but this one's at Minehead in England, at Butlins. And it's Marbles by the Sea. From Friday the March the 11th 2005. Well, of course on Marbles we have The Invisible Man, Marbles 1, Genie, Fantastic Place, The Unforgivable Thing, Marbles 2, The Damage, Marbles 3, Don't Hurt Yourself, You're Gone, Angelina, Drilling Holes, Marbles, Neverland and Ocean Cloud. I love this version because where they perform it, it's a very small room. It's got a lot of atmosphere, and I like that closeness. Because those of you who don't know, when you get the room where they do the concerts, you're literally that close. It's very intimate. It's very good sound, and I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.3. Okay then, my thing has frozen. No, this is not happening. Ah, there we go. Oh, I've had a few problems today. This is the 3rd attempt at doing this, and I'm not. There we go. Whew, thought I'd have to start again. Okay, so coming in at number 2, another go to Montreal for another weekend. Marillion music. Must go on one of these days. This was recorded on the 2009 weekend, released in 2011, and it's just called Live in Montreal Friday, where they performed the entire Season's End album. So we have Kings of the Sunset Town, Easter, The Uninvited Guests, Season's End, Holloway Girl, Berlin, After Me, Hooks and You, The Space. Then they do a couple of songs from the B-sides, The Bell in the Sea and The Release. And then the rest of the songs actually come from Happiness is the Road. And they perform The Man from the Planet Marzipan, Essence, Asylum Satellite Number 1, Whatever Is Wrong With You, and Happiness is the Road. Best version of Season's End I've got. Terrific. Season's End itself is brilliant on here. It's an album, their first release. I think Steve sings better on this than he does on the studio version. And the 5 tracks, Happiness in the Road, are brilliant. The best performances of these songs. I mean, I like The Man from the Planet Marzipan. It's a great version. Happiness is the Road is brilliant with the crowd singing. Just superb. I'm going to give this album an RTO ranking of 9.4. Finally got to number 1 without no interruptions. Well, apart from Rocky, when he doesn't count, he's part of the furniture. So coming in at number 1, we have another album, and this was a DVD recorded at the Marillion weekend at the Civic Hall in Wolverhampton in England, 12th of April 2013. Now it's called Clock's Already Ticking. Now the title is to do with that they recorded this on the Friday night, and by the end of that weekend it was already on DVD. And what they do here is perform the entire Radiation album. So we open with Costa de Slough, Under the Sun, which is a great track, The Answering Machine, 3 Minute Boy, She'll Never Know, These Chains, brilliant, Born to Run, superb on here, Cathedral Wall, another stunning version, and probably the best version of A Few Words from the Dead I've got. It's absolutely electric on here. Then we get a few of tracks from all the other albums. We have 80 Days, Genie, Somewhere Else, Hooks in You, Cover My Eyes, Slante Marth, Lavender, Heart Alone, The End King, Script for a Jester's Tear, and Happiness is the Road. Radiation Live is brilliant. I do like that album. I think I've got 3 versions of this now. I've got the original, the remix, which is pretty damn good, but this is the best version, of course. Probably some of the best, again, singing of Fish songs by Steve, especially Slante Marth. It's the best version he's ever done to me. He sings it with so much feeling and emotion. It's dedicated to him as well. What can you say? It's just a great album. The production on it is just spot on. So I'm going to give this an RTO ranking of 9.5. Well, finally I've got this one done. I've had so many interruptions today, it's unreal. I got to the stage where I'd had enough, so I decided to take a break, have a coffee, and come back and do it, and we got it done. Okay, there's also I've got to still do the tribute to Rick Parnell. We're not doing Atomic Rooster because that's on the laundry list, but we're doing Spinal Tap, so join me for that. I'll see you later. Take care for now.